What is up, Squared Nation? Welcome back to No Counters, No Combos. And today, we're talking some tech. It is October. October is my favorite month of the year. Halloween is my favorite holiday. It's actually real big at the house. You know, the kids love Halloween, dressing up, trick-or-treating, all that stuff. And October is playoff baseball, which baseball is my favorite sport. So it's a very busy month right now. October is also my wedding anniversary, so that's actually coming up this week. 2 years married to my beautiful and lovely wife, Sasha. Shout out to you. Thank you for always having my back and supporting me in my childish endeavors. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for you. So with that being said, it's going to be very busy for me on a personal level, which is fine. I'm still going to put content out for the channel. That way you guys can enjoy some stuff. I'm going to put some deck profiles out for you guys to test, but I will not be attending locals as frequently this month. Obviously, I have a lot of, things that, are, just more important. Obviously, we have our anniversary this weekend, pumpkin picking with the kids, Halloween right around the corner. So if I can get to a local this month, that would be great. If not, there's always November. But with that being said, I wanted to still get some stuff out there for you guys, so you can, test strategies out, especially moving into like regional season and people are getting ready for Nats. So best of 3 is going to be, very apparent, side deck, stuff like that. And what better card to talk about on a gloomy October day than what is slowly becoming my favorite black extra card in the game, Petrification. So Petrification is actually an older card that I wasn't around for. I was, I had taken a break from the game for quite some time, for about a year, and I wasn't around for this card's release, so I didn't really know too much about it. Shout out to my friend from Gamer's Edge, Tristan, and the Sensu Bros for putting me on this card, early in my return back to Dragon Ball Super. But this card's actually really, really strong. So let's take a look and see what it does. So Petrification is a 1-cost black extra card, counterattack timing. If your leader card is black, negate the attack, and you may choose 1 card from your hand and place it in your drop area. If you placed a card in your drop area, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and it can't attack, be placed in your opponent's combo area, or activate skills until the end of the next turn. So why is this card good? Let's break it down. So on face value, it's a counterattack. For 1 energy, if your leader's black, you get to stop an attack. That's always really good. The added effect is if you discard a card from your hand, you get to do a nifty thing in this game that I believe this is one of, if not the only card that actually does it. You can actually stop attack autos from your opponent. So what does that mean? So if we're looking at timing and we're looking at how things resolve in the game of Dragon Ball Super, in a battle step or in a combat step, the attack declaration is made. The opponent has a respond window to counter said attack, and then the autos on any pending attack autos would resolve. So basically, it would go attack, counter, auto resolve. So if that being said, because Petrification comes down in counter attack timing and resolve before any pending autos gets to resolve, you can actually negate on attack autos from certain cards, if not all cards. Now, the best thing about this card is you can choose a card ignoring barrier, so barrier does not get around it, but it can stop a whole lot of interactions, and it can kind of future-proof your turn if you do it properly. So in my personal experience, I actually used it over the weekend in a shop championship against Red-Green Launch. Shout out to Dylan. I used it against his 2-drop Piccolo Jr. I think it's like Eradicator of Peace or something like that. It was the SR that came in Draft Box 6. So the interesting thing about that guy is the 16k double strike, and he has Alliance. So Alliance actually takes place as an auto when the attack is declared. But because Petrification chooses the card and negates his skills for the turn, your opponent doesn't get to resolve that Alliance skill. So Alliance is one of those things where even if the attack is negated from a regular counterattack card. Alliance would still be able to go into pending and resolve, and then essentially burn your opponent for 1 damage and draw 2 cards. But with Petrification, your opponent doesn't get to do any of that because Petrification specifically negates the skills of a chosen battle card. Now, you don't have to choose the battle card that's attacking. You just have to choose a battle card your opponent controls. You can, of course, choose the battle card that's attacking if it's got some pretty threatening skills, whether it's critical or double strike or triple strike or dual attack or whatever. You can obviously choose that card. But if your opponent is baiting out a negate or baiting out a counter and they want to just give you a dummy battle card, for example, you can go ahead and choose a different battle card that they currently possess on their board, and you can make that card essentially a skill-less card. The other thing, too, is your opponent can't be smart about it and say, well, since you negated my skills, I'm going to go ahead and use it in a combo. Specifically, this card states that that card cannot be used in a combo. So you're kind of giving them, if it's a big body, great, whatever, but if you're worried about keyword skills and stuff like that, you have nothing to worry about. SS4 Bardock fighting against Fate is a very popular overrealm that's been used in game-ending, scenarios. You can go ahead and petrify it and stop its dual attack, so it won't get to restand. You can go ahead and stop cards from having double strike or quad strike or critical. Obviously, you don't have to worry about stuff like Further Destruction Champa because your opponent's battle card is never going to enter that combo step because you chose to negate the attack. Any upcoming attacks that you want to future-proof yourself. If your opponent's going wide and they're giving you a dummy battle card, or you feel like taking a double strike, but you don't want to take a potential critical with a Champa on it, you can go ahead and foresee that from happening. So being that a lot of people are going to start experimenting with specific side deck cards, and knowing that black leaders are very relevant now in the meta. I mean, obviously we have Xeno Gogeta, we have Hachiyak, we have SS4 Bardock, the list goes on, Kid Goku, any of the other SS4 leaders, anything that you want to experiment with as a black leader, I highly recommend, if you're not going to main Petrification, I highly recommend siding at least 2 copies, just because you never know what your opponent is going to try to throw at you, okay? It doesn't really interact with unisons too much because it's specifically telling you to choose one of your opponent's battle cards, so you do have to be wary about unison and leader swings. But aside from that, if you want to just kind of, eliminate your opponent from, getting the upper hand, Petrification is a good negate because it only costs you 1 energy. It could be you don't have to essentially tap a black energy for it, even though it does specify you having a black leader, so you can't splash it, and you can't really splash it in non-black leaders, but it doesn't have a specified black energy for cost. So if you're playing like some off-colored black leader, like if it's Mass Saiyan or something and you're charging a blue, you could still, have it up for defensive purposes. But it's just one of those cards that has kind of flown under my radar just because I wasn't around when it came out. But after using it and testing it and seeing what it actually does in the game, it's pretty remarkable. I mean, there's so many cards right now that are just game enders or game finishers, and you being able to just kind of stop them in their tracks and say no. Saying no is like such a strong thing. Like, you just say no, like, stop, do not proceed. You do not have the permission to proceed. That's really good in stopping your opponent dead in their tracks and having them have to work around or play around a potential Petrification. So it's just one of those things. If you guys are going to be going into best of 3s and you guys are going to be looking for specific side deck options, if you're playing black, definitely check this card out. I highly recommend it. It's not that expensive. Obviously, it's a non-foil. The ones that I have, I'm not sure if the foil ones are expensive. They probably are because Hatch is, I think, meta right now, so you might have to drop a couple bucks on a foil, but to each his own. Foil does not make the card better or worse, so to speak. But that's pretty much it for today's Tech Talk. I kind of wanted to get this out there for you, kind of keep it like a Halloween-y type theme, with Deborah on the card, as well as, Krillin in a horrific pose being petrified. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with everything No Counters, No Combos. We really do appreciate the support, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Be there or be squared.